The land of Pokémon is in turmoil. Ever since the Rocket Empire started to invade the regions, trainers and Pokémon alike have been constantly under threat by the one known as Darth Vader. Using his army of Stormtroopers, he took control of each region one by one. It is not long now before Vader takes over the entire Pokémon world, which is why I've come before you today with someone who says they know how Vader can be stopped. So please, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Master Professor, and today I'm going over the top 5 Pokemon that can defeat the evil Darth Vader. Now, even before the Rocket Empire invaded, I sensed Vader's plans to take over the regions, and since then I've been researching them, trying to find a weakness. And during my research, I discovered the 5 Pokemon that have the best chance of taking down Vader once and for all. And finally, in the process, bringing the balance back to Pokemon and destroying Team Sith.
Well, that's great news, because at this point, we're going to need all the help we can get. Here are the 5 Pokemon that can defeat Darth Vader. So, Master Professor, please tell us the first Pokemon that will stop Vader and bring order to the regions.
At first I couldn't find much, but then I realized that's because I was just researching Vader when he was a badass awesome villain. I also have to research the guy when he was a whiny ass bitch.
I hate them!
And that's when I started to find out some of his weaknesses. So the first Pokemon able to defeat Darth Vader is none other than Palossand.
Wait, the Sandcastle Pokemon?
Yes, you see, there's something very interesting I came across while researching Vader's past, and that is Darth Vader hates sand.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
You're right. He does.
Not only that, but the thing is it seems that Vader has a breathing problem. So either Palossand can force sand through his helmet into his lungs, giving Vader a taste of his own medicine by choking him to death, or something worse.
Worse than death by sand?
Much worse. Now, as we've established, Vader hates sand, so why don't you read out Palossand's Sun Dex entry?
Alright. Possessed people controlled by Palossand transformed its sand mound into a castle. Oh, so Palossand could control Vader to do its bidding.
You can't scare me, you slant-eyed yellow bastard!
Make him build a sandcastle.
No! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Vader would get so much sand in his shoes and his gloves and his helmet that he wouldn't be able to take it anymore. A much more devastating punishment for Vader than death itself, if you ask me.
That's terrible. But at the same time, brilliant. Palossand is a genius choice, Professor. Yeah, I can tell a whole lot of thought went into it.
Why, thank you. It only took me about 5 seconds. 5 days to think of that one.
Okay, so we now have one Pokemon in the lineup of Pokemon able to defeat Darth Vader. But we're going to need some more help just to be sure that we have a chance. So what other Pokemon do you have for us, Professor?
Oh, we're only just getting started. Following young Vader's fear of sand, I noticed something he seemed to struggle with growing up. Not only does he suffer from emephobia, the fear of walking on sand, he also seems to suffer from nightmare disorder.
The guy has trouble sleeping.
Precisely. It would usually get so bad that he would end up tossing and turning in his sleep.
Damn, that bad.
It would get worse. The nightmares would get so bad that he would scream, "No, no, no," over and over, clutching his sheets, to the point where...
Wait, Professor, how do you know this?
How do I know what?
How do you know that he has trouble sleeping? And that he tosses and turns in his sleep? And even says no in his sleep?
Well, it's in the files. It's with the research.
Wouldn't someone have to be watching him in his sleep to know all
The
this?
point is, Vader gets nightmares, okay? And what Pokemon is known for killing others with nightmares?
Well, that would be Darkrai.
Darkrai! You see, the pitch black Pokemon is known for causing unending nightmares to its targets. Nightmares so bad that they can only be cured with a lunar wing, which Darth Vader does not have. And if Vader did happen to have a lunar wing on him, well, that'd be cheating, then wouldn't it? After one dark void, Vader would be put into an endless, nightmare-fueled sleep, where he would never awake.
Wow, that's awful.
Indeed.
Wait, I know what this means.
Oh, I think I know as well.
It means that you did watch him while he was sleeping.
Wait, what? No.
You must have.
I did not, or I will not stand for
come
this.
on,
You are
there's no
spreading
way someone
lies,
will be
just
able to
all
get this
falsities,
information.
and
I'm so
you
specific
are a
without
cheat,
watching him
and you
sleep at
are
least
a
once.
scoundrel,
Just
all
admit
right?
it.
And I'm
You
not
did
even
watch him,
listening
and
to
you
you,
know
so
what?
I don't
bet
even know
you
what you're
enjoyed
saying.
it as well.
Fine, all right? Fine. I watched him while he's sleeping, but it was just once, and it was for the research. It's a good cause.
Knew it. So, did you enjoy it?
What? No, of course not. Why would you enjoy watching a half-naked man sleeping? No. Oh, yes, you freak out. You roll around in that bed, yes. Oh. Ooh. Oh, shit, he's waking up. Anyway, moving on. So, as we know, Darth Vader has two very glaring weaknesses, one being sand and the other being sleeping. But apart from that, Darth Vader usually has the upper hand on his opponents. But there's something very specific that if Vader does not have and his opponent does, he cannot win.
Something specific, you say? And what's that?
If Vader does not have this one crucial thing, he has no chance, no matter how hard he tries, and that one thing is the high ground.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Vader must always be above his opponent to win, and there's one Pokemon that he can never have the high ground against, and that is Alolan Exeggutor.
Huh?
You see, Alolan Exeggutor's neck is so high and is at just the perfect height that no matter how much Vader tried to win, he would never be able to gain the high ground. The best shot Vader has at gaining the high ground is cutting off Alolan Exeggutor's neck. But that would mean he'd have to perform a force jump in order to get a good enough strike, and that would only leave him vulnerable to a surprise attack.
My god. So Alolan Exeggutor is just the right height, so that it will always have the high ground against Vader.
Yes, if it was just an inch shorter, Vader might have the chance.
I see. Hang on. What about Wailord? Wailord is the only Pokemon that's technically higher than Alolan Exeggutor. So shouldn't Wailord beat Darth Vader as well?
Well, the thing is, a Wailord is just a big fat-ass fuck of a whale. What the hell's it gonna do? Sit on its lazy ass squirting water about, hoping that Vader gives up? It's not gonna do anything.
Oh. Okay then.
However, this does lead us into the next Pokemon that could defeat Darth Vader.
Oh, of course. Please continue.
So we've gone over 3 of Vader's main weaknesses, but there's one more notable weakness we have yet to talk about. As we all know, Vader had quite the transition after getting his black suit, with this transition almost killing him in the process. And that's when, after analyzing Vader's battle with Obi-Wan on Mustafar, I realized Vader is weak to lava.
He is?
Indeed, meaning that the 4th Pokemon that is able to defeat Vader is Slugma.
Slugma? The lava Pokemon?
That's right. You see, if Vader gets anywhere close to lava, he'll set ablaze, and the exact same thing would happen if he gets anywhere near Slugma. If Sidious wasn't there to save Vader, he would have perished in the lava, the same way he would have perished if the lava was made of Slugma. Vader was lucky to get out of Mustafar in one piece. Well, aside from the pieces that got left behind.
Professor, I think these Pokemon might actually be the answers that we've been looking for. A Pokemon made of sand, a Pokemon that causes nightmares, a Pokemon made of lava, and a Pokemon that will always have the high ground. But I believe that you have one more Pokemon to talk about, correct?
Absolutely. The final Pokemon that is able to defeat the evil Darth Vader is Lucario.
Okay, this I've got to hear.
But in order to explain how Lucario beats Vader, I must tell you a story.
Okay, what story?
Why, the story, no, legend of Luke Pokewalker.
To start this story, we must begin at a time where the very first evil organization was formed, and that team was known as Team Sylph. The rise of Sylph started during a negotiation with the Global Trade Federation. Sent to settle these negotiations was Pokemon Master Flygon Jin and his apprentice, Obi-Wan Como Obi. Little did they know, this was nothing but a ruse set up by the leader of the Sylph. Desperate to find answers, Flygon Jin and Obi-Wan Como Obi began to search for the Sylph leader's possible whereabouts. While journeying through Mount Naboon, they saved an outcast known as Car Binks, who...
Professor, before you continue, is this character really needed in the story?
Absolutely. Car Binks is the key to everything. He plays a very important role and is possibly the funniest character in the entire series.
Okay, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Anyway, after rescuing Queen Amaldala, their ship breaks down in the desert resort. In need of spare parts, they come across a junk shop owned by a Pokemon named Dewaro, along with his slaves, a youngling named Fanakin Pokewalker, and his mother, Shmeeny. After checking Fanakin's IVs, Flygon Jin noticed they were off the charts, 31 in every stat. This made him believe that Fanakin was possibly the chosen one. After winning a bet against Dewaro, Flygon Jin managed to take Fanakin with him, where they took him to the Pokemon Council. However, when they returned, they were confronted by Sylph admin Darth Vader. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. Bum 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 bum. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. The battle ended with Darth Vader murdering Flygon Jin, and then being taken out by Como Obi, who after defeating Vader vowed to train young Fanakin himself. Together, they made many adventures as teacher and student, taking on Sylph members such as Count Dukumuku, Jangmo Fett, and General Misdreavus. But the more Obi-Wan Como Obi trained Fanakin, the more Fanakin would turn to the dark side. Seeing the potential within young Fanakin, Chancellor Palpatode tried to persuade Fanakin to join him. He told him there were ways to go past the max EV limit, having 252 EVs in every stat.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a legit player.
It was at this point Chancellor Palpatode revealed himself as the Sylph team leader. Unsure on the correct course of action, Fanakin informed Master Mace Windu of Palpatode's suspicious activity, who turned out to be the real leader of the evil team's Sylph, Darth Kanga, to which Windu confronted the Chancellor.
The oppression of Team Sylph will never return. You have lost.
No, 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 you will faint!
After witnessing Mace Windu's death, Fanakin saw no choice but to join the Sylph by pledging his loyalty to Sylph leader Kanga.
Henceforth you shall be known as Darth Vader.
When Como Obi realized what had happened, he knew that the Fanakin he trained was gone, and the Sylph would soon take control of the regions. As time went on, the reign of Team Sylph was almost complete. Knowing that her power as princess was no more, Leia Oranguru sent a message as a cry for help.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Como Obi knew he was not the one who could bring balance to the Pokemon Nation, and he was not the hope the Pokemon needed. Instead, they needed a new hope. Como Obi knew the only person that could save the Pokemon from the Sylph once and for all was Fanakin's son, Luke Pokewalker. The perfect IVs within Fanakin had been passed down to his son, and while Como Obi couldn't teach Luke himself, he knew of someone who could. Luke traveled to an island known as Cinnabar, where he was told he would find a master to teach him, Master Deli.
Welcome, young Pokewalker.
How did you know I was coming?
Simple. I felt your presence.
From then on, Master Deli trained Luke, maximizing his EVs legitimately. Luke's powers began to grow level after level, but suddenly Luke received a vision of his friends in danger, so he left before his training was complete. He then confronted his father, but he wasn't ready. He was only level 61 and missing 120 EVs, where his father was level 100, with 252 EVs in every stat. After defeating his son, Vadox asked his son to join him, telling him that he was able to make him stronger than ever by making him level 100 with 252 EVs in every stat.
No, I am your father.
No. That's not true. That's impossible! Are we even in the same egg group?
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Luke refused to cheat. He gave him 120 Pokédollars and blacked out. After scurrying to the Pokemon Center, Luke returned to Cinnabar, where Master Deli, unfortunately, passed away. Luke then realized that he must find his own way of completing his training if he wants any chance to defeat his father. That is when Luke came up with a solution. With his training complete, Luke confronted his father again and Darth Kanga. The battle against his father was long and grueling, but this time Luke had the upper hand. He finally managed to defeat his father, but he could only do it by hacking his EVs. Just like his father. Admiring his hacking skills, Kanga asked Luke to join him, but knowing what he did was wrong, Luke refused. Kanga then attacked Luke, taking his EVs away from him. It was at that moment that Vadox realized hacking is wrong. He then picked up Kanga and ended him. The Sylph was no more, but in the process, his EVs were reset, and shortly after, he passed away. Like Vader, Vadox was not strong enough, but his son was. And that is why Lucario is the 5th Pokemon that can defeat Darth Vader.
Professor, that story was beautiful. I mean, the first half was kind of silly, but the second half was absolutely wonderful. Well, I think this is it. If these are indeed the 5 Pokemon that are able to stop the evil Lord Vader, then we should definitely have a chance. Professor, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your knowledge.
Of course, you're welcome. Anything for someone who's seeking knowledge on how to defeat Darth Vader. It has been done.
Did you tell him exactly what I said?
Yes, they now have the plans to defeat Vader.
Excellent. And once Vader has been defeated, nothing will stand in the way of Team Sylph.
Good.
Good.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Tremendous.
Exquisite.
Marvelous.
Satisfactory.